This is a celebration video because I've got 1,000 subscribers, and I can't believe I've got 1,000 subscribers. It's taken a couple of weeks. I've had about 650 subscribers for a long time, and I don't really make videos to get subscribers, but suddenly I bought one of these PyPicos and I was quite enjoying it. It took me back to my old days of programming, so I thought I'd share some of these, and they've been popular, so thank you for subscribing. As a celebration, as well as my 1,000 subs Pico display thing that you just saw me code very quickly, I'm going to modify my bubble pop program. So let's open my bubble pop, and if you remember in that video I said maybe we could change this to aliens, space invaders sort of thing. I decided the way that the bubbles move, just look at the way they're moved, I thought maybe it might be better if I did a UFO, something like that. So let's modify this game. First of all, before I lose it, let's do save as, and save it. Oh, every time. Stop. Save as. And I'm going to call it UFO. Okay. And because of that, do I need a ball? Yes, I still need that class ball. I'm going to change the ball. In fact, let's rename it. So class ball, you can do a find and replace here, and I'm going to call it UFO. Oh, right, let's try again. Ball and replace with UFO. Replace all. Okay, that'll do. If you remember, in my newer programs I've been creating little definitions to build a plane, also to build a little bird in my most recent video, which you may or may not have seen depending on whether we've got to 1,000 or not. So let's, hey look, UFOs, what would I call a group of UFOs? Area 51. So I'll have an area 51 worth of UFOs. There you go, that pleases me. So let's have a look at the bit that draws the UFO. Where's my UFO pen? There's my UFO pen. Okay, so instead of doing that here, let's just say draw UFO, and we're going to want to draw it at approximately the same position on the screen. So draw UFO, and then UFO X, UFO Y, and the radius. We might not use the radius. Because of that, we can now replace this. So let's get rid of that. And I'm going to put that at the top in my draw UFO. And let's just do it after the UFO class. To define this again, def draw UFO, and that will at the moment just display a circle. So nothing should really have changed. I'm not sure whether this is going to work straight away, because I've taken some other things out, but let's just have a look. And if it works, standard error 86, what have I missed? In my draw, where am I drawing it? Draw UFO, display circle, it should have been X, Y, and radius. So straight away I can just change that to X, Y. Oh, it's still got to be int. It's got to be int Y and int R, and that just gets passed into it. So int X. All right, so hopefully now, there you go. So that's got my UFOs working. Now let's have a think about replacing this UFO code with an actual UFO. So I'm going to go to numbers, which is just a spreadsheet I've got. We could use Excel to do this, it doesn't really matter, or you could use a piece of paper if you wanted. Slightly easier for me in Excel. And this is a UFO alien that I've found a piece of clip art for. Now there's going to be a better way of doing this, but what I'm going to do, everywhere I want to draw a pixel, I'm going to put a number in here. The number is going to be 1 to say I want a pixel there. So The hardest bit is working about this across. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth one across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normally, once you've got to there, it's easier to draw the others in. Right, so that's my ship with its windows. Now, the other thing I want to do is make sure that all of the squares that I'm not using have a naught in it. Alright, so there's my definition of the UFO. So I'm going to copy that, go back into my code. Where's Thunny gone? There he is. And I'm going to try and define my UFO bit pattern. So let's just paste that in as it is. Then I'm going to copy this character. It's probably a tab character, I don't know what it is, but copy that and do find and replace, paste in that character, and then do nothing to replace it with. So to replace all, that's now got rid of it, and you can just about see there's an alien pattern inside there. We didn't worry about any lines that would be empty either side. Let's not waste time on that. So now I've got this, let's turn it into a string. I'm going to go and in each of these add speech marks, do the same this side but speech marks and comma, and finally put these all onto the same line. Right, and let's define it. So let's call it UFO grid, and it's a collection which, like my collection of trees in the jungle, I'm just going to have it like so. Draw UFO X, Y and R. Let's set a row and a column that we're working on. So row equals 0 and column equals 0. This is the row and the column of this graphic, this grid. Then I will go for line in, what was it called? UFO grid. UFO grid. Line in UFO grid, then for pixel in line. Mustn't forget my colon. Color equals, make sure it's a string, pixel. Alright, because these are numbers in the string, we don't want it to come back as a number. So then I'll say if color doesn't equal 1, again, not the best way of doing this, but if it doesn't equal 1, display set pen, and let's make the pen green. So set pen red, 155 for green, and 0. No, actually, sorry, I've done this slightly wrong. If the color doesn't equal 0, then set the pen and display rectangle X plus column times radius, which I'm going to, so I'll just times R, and I might not use the radius in the end, but let's leave it in there for the moment, and comma Y plus row times R, comma R, comma R, which should draw my rectangle. So if the display isn't 0, then draw a pixel. It's as simple as that. Back where the color, if the color's not that, then obviously if it is that, it won't do anything. So then let's do column plus 1, sorry, column plus equals 1, and then back here for the line, row plus equals, so add 1 to the row, and also reset the column because we've gone back to the first one. So hopefully now that will display a circle when we draw the UFO, and this. So let's just turn off the circle because that's going to confuse matters. So back to there, and let's see whether this runs. Oh, it runs. No, it doesn't. So issue in line 37, draw UFOs. Right, so it didn't surprise me it's around this. What's 97? 97 is where I draw the UFO. Can't convert float to int. All right, so x and y. So let's do this here. Let's just reset this. So x equals int x and y equals int y. So x and y here are only used within this class, within this procedure. So whatever we send in, it will convert it to an int. So hopefully that will work. All right, and here we go. And there are lots of aliens there, but you can just about see one alien ship. So maybe we really need to change the color of the aliens. I don't know. Let's say we send a pen in, call it UFO pen, and this display set pen equals UFO pen. Of course, if we do the UFO pen there where we draw it, we have to set pen UFO pen there and that radius and UFO pen. Hopefully that will then send the colour in. I can't remember. There we go. So we've got different aliens now. They're all different sizes. They're way too big and it's slowing down a bit as well. So maybe we shouldn't have as many UFOs in the invasion. So let's just get rid of the radius so that the UFOs are not too big. So let's just say radius, and we're sending the radius in. I'm going to leave that there, but let's say radius equals 1. We should make it smaller. Now that's better. Lots of UFOs. Maybe radius 2 is slightly better, a little bit bigger. Okay, we have them, and let's reduce the number of UFOs we have. So obviously this isn't fast now because it's having to do this for each line, but we could maybe speed it up. But this is my alien invasion anyway. Let's take them down to about, let's say 10. You could do an invasion with 10, couldn't you? It would be quite a small invasion. Hopefully, I've got no idea what button does this now, but they're obviously the wrong way. Oops, I pressed reset there. Obviously this has slowed the game down terribly, which is sort of showing why this isn't the right way to do the sprites. Just a little challenge, as I always say. How would you now change this so that the UFOs were turned, and so they were coming down the screen like that, and so you weren't shooting them from the side, because the graphic is the wrong orientation for the game now. So maybe that's something you can look at and see whether you can change that. So thank you for all my subscribers. Really exciting to hit the 1,000 mark. Hope you enjoyed this little alien invasion celebration, and please subscribe, and I'll come back with some more little gaming ideas really soon.